Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is going to be my first YouTube video, so I'm really excited about it. So let me introduce myself in a few words before I dive right into the topic. My name is Mitesh and I'm currently a software engineer and a certified trainer with specialization in nutrition, strength and conditioning, and exercise recovery. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about how do you burn fat, how do you build muscles, and how do you improve your VO2 max by improving your cardiovascular endurance without having you to spend your time separately on cardio session and your strength training session. So one of the reason I'm going to talk about it is because I haven't really seen a concise video that really talks about it without overselling, without overhyping, and without dancing around it about the things that I'm going to talk about. If you don't have time to watch the entire video, I want to save your time, so let me give it to you right off the bat. It's all about strength training or some sort of resistance training in a way that would keep your heart rate up by taking minimal to no rest between your set. That being said, you may say, hey dude, you're talking about high intensity interval training. Well, you're right. But we are also going to talk about MRT, which stands for metabolic resistance training, and then we're going to talk about German body composition, GBC for short, and then we'll talk about peripheral heart action training, PHA for short, and then we will talk about traditional strength training with some minor tweaks. Alright, so let's start with HIIT first, high intensity interval training. Who should do it and why should they do it? So if you are someone who is returning to workout after a really long time, like 6 or 12 months, if you are just a beginner, if you cannot dedicate more than 20 or 30 minutes per day, if you want to maximize your calorie burn by accelerating your metabolism, if you want to boost your VO2 max numbers by improving your cardiovascular endurance or muscle hypertrophy. That being said, you will see some lean muscle gain in the beginning phase. And if you are someone who prefers just body weight workout. So the next is metabolic resistance training. Who should do it and why should they do it? If you are someone who wants to use weights with minimum to no rest, if you are beginner to intermediate and you want a balanced approach between muscle hypertrophy and cardiovascular fitness, if you want your session to be around anywhere between 40 minutes to 60 minutes, and if you want to combine compound lifts, isolated moves, and bodyweight workout back to back without any rest. Now let's talk about German body composition training, GBC for short. Who should do it and why should they do it? If you are a powerlifter who wants to maximize their strength by working on muscle hypertrophy and improving their cardiovascular health as well. The reason why it is recommended for powerlifter is because GBC training has only compound lifts back to back without any rest or minimum rest if your body requires it. So your workout routine may look like this: deadlifts immediately followed by bench press, or squats immediately followed by overhead shoulder press. So if you don't want to work with barbells, you can also work with dumbbells, but if you are a professional powerlifter, you may want to stick to barbell because that's what that sports is about. The key difference between GBC training and MRT training is that MRT training may contain compound lifts. The key difference between GBC and MRT is that MRT training may contain compound moves, isolated moves, and bodyweight workouts as well. On the other hand, GBC training may have only compound lifts. Now let's talk about PHA, peripheral heart action training. It was popularized in 1960s by Mr. Universe and America winner, Mr. Bob Gotcha. The idea of PHA is that it alternates between upper body workout splits like dumbbell press, shoulder overhead press, and lower body workouts like lunges, squats, etc. This approach is not just strategic for fat burning, but it also enhances your cardiovascular endurance. The main disadvantage of this MRT, GBC, and PHA training is that these workouts are tightly coupled. So if you are working out in overcrowded gym, then you may not find empty machine for your next set, or you may have to wait for someone to complete all of their sets before you can work out on that machine. So while you wait for your turn, your heart rate will go down and your workout may not just go as you might have planned. Now let's talk about traditional strength training. The best way to approach this one is by telling how do I personally approach my own workouts. Usually I try not to take rest more than a minute between my set. I try to keep my heart rate anywhere between 120 to 150, so my average heart rate at the end of the session may look like maybe 125, 135, anywhere between that. And my current split is push, pull, legs and tricep on the same day. So some of you may argue, hey, aren't you hitting your tricep on your push day? So yeah, I mean, on my push day, usually I work on my chest and shoulder, and most of them are compound moves. So my tricep are the secondary muscles that are being used, and on that day, my triceps, it's more like active recovery workouts for my tricep on that day. So I work on isolated moves while I work on my tricep along with the legs. The reason that I'm following this split is because to get the 72 hours of recovery time before hitting the same muscle group again. And there are other ways as well that I keep my heart rate up by introducing supersets, drop set, or by introducing a body weight workout between my set while I'm taking a rest. So that's pretty much all I have for today. If you like this video, or if you think you learned something from this video, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up and please hit the bell icon.